baby, this season of the Real Housewives of Potomac is going to be good. At least that's what it appears to be in those snippets. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. We are reviewing the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 4, episode number 1. That's the way the cookie crumbles. How do they come up with these things? If it's your first time visiting my channel, what up though? Click the red subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. You're there, so click the notification bell and you won't miss a video I upload. So, if you're new to my review style, when it comes to the Housewives, I like to go character by character. And the first one we saw was Gizelle. And I'm gonna have to agree with those daughters, honey, them pants, them python skin pants, were not doing anything for your butt. For you, they looked a little crazy. I wanted you to take them off, throw them in the trash. Burn them, Miss Gizelle. Okay, so if y'all don't know, Gizelle's my favorite, if not only because she's a Virgo. Okay, that is why she's my favorite. I relate to her blunt honesty. Sometimes it's not as tactful as it should be, but I definitely like her probably the most. Anyway, so we find out that her and Sherman are back together. They've been seeing each other again for about, I don't know, I think, did she say 8 months? Or there was an 8-month break. And he called her and he missed her. I love you. You know, and she was like, I'm not one. My eyelashes. Same thing from the last video, my eyelashes. She was like, I'm not one to give someone a second chance. But she decided that Sherman needed a second chance. So they're seeing the therapist and she seems to be happy. Says that he's going to attend the wedding with her. Now, y'all let me know how you feel about that. Like, you know, seeing Sherman's ex and the way he exited. I don't know. I mean, Virgos are people that will give you chance after chance because we want to make sure that things work. But when we're done, we're done. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this. So I'm going to have to wait and see how things play out to see if I'm really for their relationship rekindling. But hell, what do I know? I'm single. I'm by myself, right? I ain't got no man. Don't nobody want to be around me. Child. Moving right along. I like this, her honesty about her missing Karen, missing her friend, their camaraderie, how close they were. You know, because they were friends. I mean, when your relationships dissipate for whatever reason and you've been close and you've talked and you've hung, of course you're going to miss your friend. Hands down. So I thought that that was big of Gizelle to say, I'm going to make her some cookies and I'm going to go see her. I miss my friend. She likes my cookies. This is an olive branch. Both of her parents have passed away, and she's mentioned previously that I should have been trying to get to her, bang her door down, call her, all kinds of stuff if we were truly friends. And so Gizelle seems like she is trying to make amends. And you see Karen jump in and she's all like, well, I've got to see if it's true or not. I don't believe it. It could be fake and phony. One thing Virgos aren't is fake and phony. You see what you get. You're going to get what you see. Plain and simple. If you feel we're being fake because we're talking about you, it's because we're giving our honest opinion. Now, it's different if I tell you directly versus telling you behind your back. That's where things get a little, you know, shady. And then if I say that I love you and if I'm coming to check on you, it's also genuine. You know, but stuff behind your back, that is a little bit shady, no matter what sign, no matter who you are as a person. But as long as it's direct, you can trust what they say. Oh, and her little daughter, I don't know how old is her daughter. Is her daughter 15 now? I'm not sure, you guys. Anyway, she was very wise. Like, maybe you shouldn't have said the joke. She was like, Karen can't take a joke. And her daughter said, well, maybe you shouldn't have said the joke. And all Gizelle could do was stand there with her mouth open like, well, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Some things are off limits. My husband, off limits. I don't have one. My kids, off limits. My family is off limits. Shit, people I love is off limits. My mama will tell you that. I be defending my friends like, mama. Anyway. So we see Miss Ashley. She talks again about, you know, briefly about the miscarriage and how it brought her and Michael closer together. And that they're working towards having another baby or her getting pregnant. And she does this blindfold and walks him to the living room and feeds him strawberries and has him, you know, lick the whipped cream off her shirt, off her chest. I'm all like, I'm confused. I'd be so confused by some of the movements. Like, okay, I like the sensualness of the blindfold, but that's as far as we went. It was in the living room. It should have been vice versa. Or, I mean, in the living room is fine, but I don't know. Y'all, I was just confused. Like, this don't even fit here. This is all the surprise. What else is gonna happen? Like, they were supposed to cut because things had gotten real hot and heavy and heated. But what do I know? I'm not a producer. I'm not a director. I'm not a writer. I don't script nothing. I don't tell the people what to do. But I'm just saying they could use my imagination in there a little bit. You know, like it could have been a little bit more taste testing and stuff. And, you know, tell me what it tastes like. Something, I don't know. It could have been a little more sexy. Whatever. Here's where we see the headline. 2 months later, Michael charged with sexual felony assault charges. I'm all like, oh, this don't get better, this get worse. First we think you like men, now you getting sexual assault. Now you're getting sexual assault charges. Baby, it's too much for me. I mean, it was in the news. I wasn't following it. Maybe want to go Google it, which I'll probably do after this. I want to talk about Candace last because she was probably the most juiciest. They briefly show us Karen on her own. Matt comes over to visit. Giselle calls. We see Giselle on her way there, calls Robin. Okay, so first off, Giselle, you were going unannounced, uninvited. You're going to drive way from Potomac to Great Falls, since you say it's so far, without actually calling her to see if she's home, calling her to, you know, let her know I'm coming to visit with you. I want to see how you're doing. Honey, you wouldn't want nobody popping up at your house. I know I don't like people popping up. You need to at least call me. If we ain't close enough, I don't want you coming in my house just popping up. First off, it might be dirty. It might be in disarray. And I don't want you here with that passing judgment on me, okay? Like, we gonna just be honest. I don't want you, because everybody does it regardless of what they say. If you're not a close friend of mine and don't know that I know how to have things organized, or if things are in disarray because I'm in a space, then I don't really want you here. Let's just be honest on that. And true to form, she calls her and says, I'm in the neighborhood way out here. Karen's like, sorry, I don't want to be bothered. Another time. I appreciate that. Another time. Giselle calls back and says, I have cookies. She's like, I'll have Matt meet you outside. Oh no, the white man? I don't want Matt coming out to meet with me. So she says, well, just come to the door. And so she gives her the cookies, and, you know, she says, well, I thank you, and tell the girls I appreciate it, you know, and goes on about her way. Like, it was a bit dismissive, and, you know, I guess you could see Karen's point. But I also probably would have thought, well, she drove way out here, so let me let her in. Let me hear what she has to say. Now is probably a good time. It's just you and Matt. Matt is your assistant, so hello, somebody. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I definitely think Giselle should not have driven her ass out there unannounced. So we see Monique. Monique is pregnant with her third child. The thing I got out of this little segment with Monique is the fact that her husband is very traditional, but we know that already. He would prefer her be barefoot and pregnant. But specifically when he said, you owe Giselle an apology. You also owe Sherman an apology for what you said last year about him being in the park or whatever. You owe an apology to those people, because now you are messy. You're messy. You're making me look bad. I'm in here, you know, at the gym with this man. He's a cool guy, and I told him that you will verbally, in person, apologize to him. So I thought, okay, pull her card. That is what you're supposed to do behind closed doors. You are supposed to say you were wrong. You are still a representation of me, and you've pretty much embarrassed me. So fix it. So I can respect that. If you don't, you think he was overstepping his boundaries, let me know down below in the comments. And then we have Miss Naive Robin. Now Robin, I am loving her with the short hair. Like all cut off like that. I absolutely am in love with it. I think it does something for her face. Her bone structure is perfect for that. You know, she's a gorgeous girl as it is, but I love her hair cut short. And evidently Juan does too, because she's like, we have been going at it like rabbits for the last few months. Girl, so you excited about sleeping with this man that doesn't want a commitment with you, that lives there out of convenience? You guys live together financially, for financial reasons, out of convenience. You've been accepting a lot of stuff, and you've been in there hanging in there with him for a long time through disrespect, everything. And so you feel like you're coming out on top now, like he's doing the things that he's supposed to do. Like he set up this whole massage thing, this couple massage thing, and you go and he massaged you. They showed you how. You guys take a bath or whatever. And I'm still not sold on the relationship. I'm still not sold on her, you know, hanging on and holding out, hoping that Juan comes around, because that is exactly what she's doing. Seems like he is moving towards more of a relationship between the two of them, but I just feel like, you know, he's showing her, I get, you know, I just still feel the same way. Like, we are hanging in there for what reason? Because he has potential, is what she said. I see a lot of potential in him. Sometimes I look at her and I think, how low is your self-esteem? And is it you stay around because he really doesn't have family? You are his family. Like, I don't know, and I'm not in that position. You know what I'm saying? What do I know? I don't know how I would react. I would hope that I would have been left. Like, well, we'll have to struggle and figure it out on our own. Like, I don't know what, but I know that I just feel like she's foolish. You guys give me your opinion down below. And as we go further into the season, I will probably have more to say about it. I just need to see where they're going. I don't want to pass judgment on their relationship, especially if she's saying it's breaking new ground and they're moving forward. But she says that every season. So I got to see what's happening. Any first thoughts from you? Give them to me down below in the comments. Oh, he did make me, Juan did say, my goal is to get us to a place where we've never been romantically. So at least he is setting goals for them. And I guess that would be a good goal if you want to be in a relationship with a man that has been stringing you along for a long time. Hell, but what do I know? Again, I'm single. I ain't got no man. Ain't nobody checking for me. Okay, so what do I know? Right, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about Candace. Poor Candace. Candace is an emotional wreck. We see her and her husband Chris at his restaurant, and she is fed up with the wedding planning. Anyone who has planned a wedding knows that it is exhaustive, knows that your mother is really the bride. Like, it is exhaustive. And, you know, Chris, as always, is saying you can't carry your mother's burdens. You can't carry, you know, you can't live your life based on your mother's feelings. Like, you have to live for yourself. Now, I'm going to agree with that wholeheartedly, but I also see where Candace is coming from. We know that black households versus other households are ran differently. Okay, the mother-child relationship is held at a different standard. Everybody knows that. You know, you hold your mother in the highest regard. You know, you don't want to be disrespectful. At a certain point in your life, though, you do set boundaries with your mom, but in that same breath, you don't want to be disrespectful. Where in other households or in other ethnicities' households, they, honey, do it way before we ever think about it. Okay, like, I'm just saying, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. She makes a comment that is very eye-opening. She's afraid that she's going to be cut off because her mother is essentially caring for her. You got the business, you got the house, she's paid for the wedding. Like, she's essentially caring for her and her husband. So she has to go ahead and cut the cord herself in order to stand on her own 2 feet, because she's afraid of what will happen with the relationship with her mother. We see her later on speaking with Karen when Karen comes to visit, and they have their little drink and little hors d'oeuvres or whatever. And again, she says something eye-opening. She says, I don't want my mother to hate me. Like, that is a huge statement, to believe that if you go against your mother, that she is going to hate you. That's because you know that your mother is resentful. You know that your mother can hold a grudge. You know that she is spiteful. You know that she is mean. You have grew up with your mother. You have dealt with a lot with your mother. You have seen how she acts with other people, and you don't want it being turned on you. As a matter of fact, you may have seen some of that vindictive behavior speared towards you previously. So you don't want that again, even as an adult. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I mean, at least that's my experience. And so I see that, but I really feel like this is so extreme for Candace, and that Candace definitely needs to stand up to her mom. And we see her sit and have the conversation, because we find out that Candace has a half brother that came along before Candace. That the mother and the dad were together, and he had a child outside of their relationship. They went on to get married, and then they had Candace. And Miss Dorothy is not accepting of that. Miss Dorothy probably has never been accepting of that. The fact of the matter is, Miss Dorothy probably never let or wanted her husband, her ex-husband, to see his son. They probably just sent a check every month, okay? And so Candace has built a relationship with her half-brother and is fearful of the repercussions from her mother. And so that conversation happens at the breakfast table between her and her mother. And you can see she is visibly afraid to even have the conversation, which is so sad that she's scared to have this conversation with her mother, that those emotions well up and she begins to cry yet again. So her mother should have known, you know, this is something. If you've invited somebody, you've already said you invited your daddy. So that was enough. Now, and he got, you know, so what else? Who else is being invited? And so when she says, I've invited my brother, Miss Dorothy cuts off. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to hear about it. While we discussing it, you kissing their ass. Honey, this woman is so closed off to the idea of that child coming, as if it was his fault that he was born, that his father did what he did. It is not. This woman is cold-hearted. This woman is resentful. She is hateful. Like, it is all in her face. She is bitter. She is not healed from shit that happened decades ago, okay? And it's sad. You can see it all in her face. She is giving off the true image of the angry black woman. That is exactly what people see. They see us, how Miss Dorothy is acting right now. Right now. And Candace is trying to explain that that doesn't have anything to do or any bearings on my relationship or with that child. Ma, like, you tripping. And it's my wedding. You ain't finna tell me who and who can't come. But I hope that really stands true and she doesn't fall back. Her mom is heartless. She was like, and those crocodile tears don't mean nothing. Honey, Candace has been hearing that her entire life. I feel for Candace. I really, really do. I hope she gets some backbone with her when it comes to her mother, but be, of course, respectful like she has been. You know, I'm rooting for her this season. I do like Candace quite a bit. So, you guys, let me know down below in the comments what you think about this first episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. I am going to try and stay consistent. I keep saying that, but I am. And we need to start gearing up for claws. Let me know what you thought about the episode. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 4, Episode number 1. Don't forget, before getting out of here, the subscribe button and the notification bell are your best friends. You should click them. And for me, because you like me, give me a thumbs up so I'll know it's real. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next video.